Hello.
SLO City Together Podcast.
Mm-hmm. We are here.
We are here.
Welcome.
I'm back. I never thought I'd be back.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, I never thought you'd be back either.
Who are you? Who are you for the listener?
Oh, I'm Tatum Miller.
I'm Brent Bramer.
The Tatum Miller.
And I'm Luke Lyons.
And we are here together. SLO City Together Podcast. Co-op podcast. I almost said co-op.
Oh.
Yep.
Weird.
Is this a co-op?
Where friends
You know what
become
that means,
family,
honestly.
family become strangers, and strangers talk about everything together. That's backwards. Where strangers become friends,
Yeah.
friends become family, and family discuss the important matters of life.
Yeah.
What important matters are we getting into today?
That's up to
Probably,
Luke. We
probably
just kind of
Spotify
follow.
Wrapped.
I love
That's probably what we're going to talk
All
about
right.
today. That's
All
the
right.
important matters of the day, I would say. Now today we're gonna catch up.
Yeah.
There's been it's been probably at least a month since we've done this,
It's been a long time.
and so there's been a lot of things personally. There's been a lot of things in the life of the church.
Personally.
Ooh, well,
What for you?
do we want to start there?
Sure.
Seems like that's
Go
what's
ahead.
on your mind as a
Yeah.
personal matter.
I wasn't just thinking about my personal things. We've all had.
We have
all had
all had
things.
personal things.
Yeah. Would you like to start with
Your
your
personal
personal
thing?
My personal thing is
Yeah.
that my cat has been killing rats.
Okay.
And leaving them on our front door.
Yeah, I know.
You go.
You go. That's it?
What? Yeah, that's it. I want
That's
to hear
it.
his personal thing.
Okay. What's going on, Luke? You okay?
Am I okay?
Do you need
I'm doing
this?
well. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Huh.
I guess you're referring to the fact that I'm now engaged. Is
Yes.
probably the
Yeah.
personal thing.
Luke is
I was-
engaged.
yeah. To Abby.
Finally. We never
yeah.
thought it would be the case.
There we go. How did you trick her into that one? How did you pull that one off?
Just right place, right time, I guess.
Right place, right
Uh-huh.
time.
Right
Stars
circumstances.
aligned.
Lack of
Yep.
options.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is for her, not me.
Oh my gosh.
That sounded
oh
bad.
my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
That went left.
No,
to,
we should
in both
restart.
ways.
Restart the podcast.
Cut
Oh my
and
god.
start again.
Anyway, so yeah, engaged.
Lack of
And,
options for her. Whatever. You're a catch. You're a catch.
That
He's a pretty
sounded
good guy.
bad in both for her and for me. Like I had so many options.
Uh-huh.
And
How
she's
long you guys
lucky.
been dating?
It has been 2 years as of last week.
Wow.
Wow,
2 years
man.
of dating, 1 month of engagement, just about.
And you will have a
Nice.
year of engagement almost?
Yeah,
Close?
10, 11 months.
10, 11
Yeah, we're
months.
hoping September, October of this coming year.
Nice.
Looking at venues in a couple of weeks.
Have you chosen your wedding colors?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
He doesn't do that. She does that. He don't know what
Eh,
you're
no,
talking
he's
about.
pretty opinionated on
That's-
colors.
He is opinionated guy.
Yeah.
I got no choice. I was told where
Really?
to be, what to
Yeah.
wear,
Yeah.
everything, dude.
Well,
I got no choice.
I take that as a gift
Yeah.
because you
That's
didn't
right.
have to have you didn't have to have an
I
opinion.
agree.
That means you didn't have much responsibility.
Yeah,
That is true. And
That
let's
means you
let's
just
not start
showed
on
up.
that. Let's not start down that road.
that means she
Okay.
probably was like, "What's Tatum doing for this wedding?"
Right.
You making any contribution? to
Hey, I
this?
was tasting food.
You were.
I was trying food.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's a big job.
Mhm.
Don't strain yourself.
I know, man. I did get full quick. So
Here's what I know about Tatum. Tatum loves a good meal.
I do love a good
Yeah.
meal.
Good mac and cheese.
Good wings.
You know what we should do? Let's talk about what our Thanksgiving plate looked like.
Oh,
Okay.
we're all over the place
Let's
already.
do that.
Let's wrap up the engagement. Congratulations,
Okay.
Luke.
Thank you.
We're proud
Thank
of
you.
you.
Very much. Thank you.
I hope that I make some part of your wedding.
I just want to be there, dude.
Will my kids be invited? We don't know.
We don't know.
Will they be
Yeah.
flower girls?
That's crazy.
Maybe?
Maybe. We don't know. It is all up in the air.
All right.
Nothing has been
All right,
decided.
sounds good.
We are going to
We're-
pick a venue, and then from
That's
there,
funny.
Everybody's going to put on
there.
their best friend face for the next couple
Mhm.
months so
Yeah.
that they can either be in
In
the wedding
hopes.
or not be in the wedding.
Yep.
Some people don't like being in weddings.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on how many you have
Hmm.
in the vicinity.
We're
So,
excited for you, man.
Thank
We
you.
are.
I
Excited
appreciate
for you,
that.
man.
It's gonna be awesome.
I'm excited as well. What do you what do you guys got going on?
I don't know how we can
You
top
went
that.
okay. Thanksgiving, your first Thanksgiving as a married couple. You want
Yes.
to talk about that? We
First
just
Thanksgiving.
It's
and,
been-
and you can talk about preaching for the first time
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
haven't debriefed that.
we got a
Here-
whole
here
list of
publicly.
things we can do.
That's right. Excuse me.
Yeah. So first Thanksgiving as a couple, just us. So we tried to make it kind of like as special as possible as we could.
Yeah.
Because we went with our family. So kind of went all out on food.
Mhm.
Got a turkey breast that was frozen. My first time ever cooking turkey.
Did you thaw it first?
I thawed it for 2 days.
Wow.
After that, I brined it.
Oh,
I marinated it.
Yeah.
That was
you're
nuts.
gonna walk us through the whole
Yeah,
process.
the whole thing. We
Here's
cooked
how to
it,
cook a turkey.
cooked it for 5 hours.
Tatum's recipe.
And Bailey's one of those girls, I would just say people, that is like super wary of like, is the meat cooked all the way through? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
won't eat,
Jenna's that way
You gotta
too.
be
bro,
with
she
poultry.
won't eat like a medium rare steak. It
Jenna's
has
like
to
that
be-
too.
I just-
Jenna's grown though.
Yeah.
She'll eat a medium.
Yeah. But
That's good.
Bailey's like, if I see it, before it's cooked, I probably won't eat it. I'm like, well,
Okay.
here's a whole turkey I'm holding in the kitchen right now.
How did you
And
cook it?
I cooked it like
He brined it.
275, brined it, 275,
Did you roast it? Like
roasted it
okay.
with foil over it.
Mm.
And I took the
Foil
foil
over.
off.
All right.
Mm.
Hey, short story, not so short. The turkey turned out great. Everybody's
All right.
alive. Nobody
All
got sick. It was
All right.
Was
tasted
it
great.
was it moist? Was it dry? Was it
In my eye.
Jacob Holcomb?
Was it Jacob Holcomb?
It was pretty Jacob Holcomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was moist and it was cooked all the way through. It was great. Oh, it was so nice.
Turkey looked like Jacob Holcomb.
Jacob Holcomb. I wonder if he's gonna listen to this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we did
Brined.
like brined. He's a brined guy.
What was your
Yeah.
like just salt brine?
No,
I'm
apple.
get-
You put apple cider in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Salt,
like a
seasonings.
squeeze
Yeah.
squeeze all over.
So it gets
it.
all in there.
Jenna did like a herbal butter one year where she
Yeah.
had made this
Ooh.
butter and she picked up the skin.
That's what I had to
And
do afterward.
Oh,
Afterwards,
okay.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, get it in there.
That-
All right. I like it.
We had
so
mac
you
and
ate so you ate
cheese.
Thanksgiving together.
Yeah,
Mac and cheese.
So-
mac
Solo.
and cheese, potatoes, all
Okay.
that stuff.
Good.
Ate Thanksgiving together.
Nice.
It was super awesome, very
Yeah.
fun. We got
Yeah.
to stay in our pajamas all day.
That's
chilled,
awesome.
And then
Very nice.
How many Christmas movies did you watch?
we watched all the football games.
Oh, I did. Was that her choice or
And
yours?
let's talk about that. Let's talk about why they put the Giants
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
Thanksgiving game.
Here's the thing about
Giants
San Luis
Cowboys,
Obispo.
right?
Yeah.
Not many
Woo.
people care about football.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
I'm
that's
not
gonna
used
fly
to
in the
that.
It's like
podcast.
other than it's just the Niners. We've got Niners fans.
Some Oakland.
Yeah.
Who's really a Rams fan
And
or
who's really a
Chargers
Chargers
fan?
Jim
fan?
Hay.
Nobody. I
That's
went to
crazy.
Jim Hay is a
Hayes
Rams
Rams
fan.
I
Yeah.
went to the Chargers game
That's right. You went to
Chargers
Chargers
Bengals
Bengals
as
yeah.
a Bengals fan.
as a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Thanksgiving, what was like your takeaway for your and Bailey's first Thanksgiving
That
as a married couple?
we do miss our family,
Yeah.
but we have, like, this is gonna sound cheesy, that we have formed a new one. That
Yeah.
we're like, oh, now it's like our first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually there'll be like smaller people joining us,
Mhm.
and maybe
Yeah.
a dog or a cat. And it'll
Well,
be
you
like
had-
Foreshadowing.
foreshadowing.
didn't
It
invite
was cool
Chandler
to be
in?
like, this is probably one of the only ones. I'm
What?
not saying like next year.
What? You're gonna have a
Oh, no.
You have Chandler. I feel like Chandler's
Chandler's enough
getting
for
some
us.
shade
Chandler
on
the
this.
cat
Yeah.
that kills the rats.
She's
Yeah.
mangy. She's mangy, but she protects our house.
You could let her in for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
She did come in for a little bit.
Really? Okay.
Unofficially.
So-
That's unofficial.
Oh, she wasn't
It's
invited
unofficial.
in.
No,
She
wasn't.
just
Yeah, she's kind of
came
walked in.
in.
We
Okay.
kicked her back out.
Chandler.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Chandler Bing.
No, Chandler's
Okay.
the cat.
Matt
Well,
Chandler?
That's cool.
Mhm.
Definitely not Matt Chandler.
It's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I remember. I mean, it's been a long time, but I remember that first holiday season. Jen and I got married in August.
Yeah.
Similar. Did you get married in September?
August.
Mhm.
And yeah, those first holidays are weird
Yeah.
because you're like,
Yeah.
we actually went to her family and my family we went, I think, to her family for Thanksgiving, my family for Christmas. In each of those, it was like, that was hard
Yeah.
because it was like, oh, I'm not with my family.
Yeah.
And you have
But
to
I'm with
kinda
your family. But now
decide.
but now your family is my family.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
unique that you guys had that opportunity to just
Yeah.
like rip the Band-Aid off and be
Just do
together.
it. Yeah.
And that's a cool memory. You'll
Yeah.
have that for a
Yeah.
long time.
Mhm.
Now we like just being with our family.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't like going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, if you want to come to be a part of Thanksgiving with our family, then come with
Mhm.
us.
Yeah.
I can see myself being like that.
Yeah.
Give me 5 years, and
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
I got you guys come out here. I'm not.
Yeah, but you guys went through a transition pretty quickly of like
Yeah.
getting married, moving across the country,
Mhm.
and then you're here. It's like that's a lot to
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally probably wrestle with that you don't even realize yet.
Yeah.
You know, and so it hits you in those moments. So
Yeah. I agree.
cool that you guys are in it together.
It is a journey.
Seem
It's a good
happy,
one. Yeah.
healthy,
We're loving it, man.
Wealthy and wise.
Everybody's
mangy
healthy.
cat.
Got a nice cat. Yeah.
You love the cat.
I do love a cat. I'm not a cat person, but
Yeah.
now
You're
hey,
a cat person.
I can be a cat
Chandler has
person.
changed you.
She keep killing them rats and bring. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. So I don't have to do it. She'll do it.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Brent, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, how was
Or
yours?
where any? You know what? This is just
We
any
went to
personal
Mexico. Here we
updates.
go.
Personal updates.
It doesn't even have to be about Thanksgiving specifically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my mom. I'll just talk about Thanksgiving.
Okay, great.
I don't know the last time we did this podcast, which I'm really disappointed in us.
I
I'm
know.
really disappointed in you.
Wow.
I'm joking.
I think we should make it a longer.
For the listener, he pointed at me, not Tatum.
You keep rolling.
What?
Can you hear the
headset users are
Oh,
gonna be
you-
mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's shaking these in the ear. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not so
so
bad.
I'm just trying to think back over the past couple the past month.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. My mom. I'll just talk about Thanksgiving. My mom has started this new thing in the past 3 years where 2 years ago she flew the whole family to a place to celebrate Thanksgiving together, and then this year she flew the whole family. So myself and my family, my sister's family, my brother's family, and my mom and stepdad. She flew everybody to a place in Cabo, which we had never been to Cabo before. It's beautiful, little all-inclusive place. It was amazing. It was super restful, super easy. Food was okay. I don't like. It's like a buffet style, so it was just like. And there are just people. There are a lot of people, but it was just nice to have zero responsibilities or think about anything. And we got to see whales, which was really cool. Like we took an excursion, a little excursion day, adventure day, where we were going to go just snorkel. And we're riding in this little dinghy boat, and all of a sudden we just see whales surfacing. And so we stopped the boat, cut the engine, and one surfaces literally from me to that couch.
Wow.
And I could have, the couch is behind you.
Yes.
And I could have
looked.
Like there was a part that we were like, you could jump on that whale right now and ride it.
And just
let
it take you.
You guys seen the movie Life of Pi?
No,
it was like that. Like the whale surfaced and kind of like looked at us and was like, like Pismo Beach, Avila? Yeah, I've been there. So it was cool. It was a great time. My brother's in ministry in Southeast Christian Church in Louisville, and he's had a really busy stretch, and it was cool to connect with him and his wife and Jordan and Blair. Even though we live in the same town, we don't get to see each other and hang out as much as we want to, just because life is so full right now. And so anyways, did that.
That's awesome.
Got back, drove up from Los Angeles. Set the room up for Sunday service last Sunday. Sat down on my couch, and 30 minutes later, the stomach bug hit me, and I was done.
Some tacos in the airport.
I don't know if it was tacos, man. I don't know what it was.
What do you think happened?
One night we went to this Japanese steakhouse within the all-inclusive place, and I made the mistake of eating this sushi that they brought out. And it looked a little gamey, so I took off like pieces of it.
Oh, no.
But it could have been, I mean, honestly, that night that I was just like, my stomach, I was just throwing up like crazy. Like every 45 minutes. It was the worst night of my life. And I kept thinking in between trips to throw up, I was like, what did I eat? I'm like going through like, was it that steak? Was it that cheese pizza that I ate in the buffet? Was it the quesadilla? Was it the guacamole? And I went through I had an itemized list of everything I ate. It could have been an In-N-Out in Thousand Oaks. I don't know.
Was there anything you ate that no one else ate? Like, because you were the only one, right? Or did anyone else get sick?
Wow. Poor soul.
Man.
But I appreciate my body.
All right.
Okay, good. Okay.
All
right. Because my body waited until I was home. I could not imagine that hitting me in the airport. I was driving a 12-passenger van with everybody up here to come back from LA. I was just so glad. And so now we're here, and that was my personal update.
All right.
That's cool.
That's good.
Now it's Christmas.
Advent has started. We're leaning into the Advent. We got Hope for One going on.
Yeah.
This is the last week of Hope for One. It's wrapping up. On Wednesday, I think is the deadline, or Tuesday maybe. So lot going on. Yeah. I do want to hear Tatum. You did get to speak a couple weeks ago.
I did.
First time here at SLO City. Yeah. Did a great job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You just saying that because you're my friend.
I am, but I also mean it.
All right, good.
So you fix your microphone.
What's wrong with it?
It's going down.
Yeah, pick it up.
Yeah.
You're talking into the top of it, man.
Yeah, there we go.
Am I not supposed to talk into the...
No.
Not the top of it.
The top part, the front
part.
All
right.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing
He's talking to the...
Yeah, what are you doing?
This is a different microphone.
Yeah, it is. He gets the best microphone.
Do what I say.
He makes us look like goons over here with these...
This is my personal microphone that my friends Gabe and Jordan gave me as a going away gift before I move here.
Okay. Why don't you give us a personal microphone?
If you move, maybe I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how was that process for you? What was that like? What did you come away from that experience with?
I would say that I don't usually get super nervous or super anxious or anything like that. If I feel like I'm prepared, and I felt like I was pretty prepared, and before I was about to get up, like I could tell like my body was starting to get like why am I getting a little nervous right now?
Yeah.
I think it's because I cared a lot. Like I was like, this is like first one, and I'm just saying this because Brent's here. No, this is like first one here, and was like I knew people there. Like, it wasn't like I was just going into a random congregation and doing like I knew people, like I could see people that I recognized, and I wanted to just make it as impactful as possible and kind of give my heart for ministry behind it as I was speaking. So I kind of wove that in there, and it was good. I'm a very I like to be separated from my notes as much as I can. So for those of you that are listening, if you were to line up like Brent or Luke's manuscript style versus mine, it looks completely different, and that's completely okay.
You think you're better than us?
No.
Okay.
I think y'all's would overwhelm me. The way that y'all do it and the way that I do it is like I give myself like notes to kind of roll with. So it allows me to kind of like, just from my preaching style, like look up and be like, all right, I can do this and do that. You guys do, surprisingly, you guys do a very good job of being separated, even though you guys have detailed manuscripts. Like that's hard for me, and I don't know how to do that, and you guys can do that pretty well. So, but yeah, no, it was great. Time flew. It felt like 10 minutes, and I was up there for like 25 each time. But I could tell that my mouth was getting dry, and I was like, oh no, dude, I don't have my water up here. What am I gonna do? So I kind of just pushed through it.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. I had a great time. I think people loved it, and
yeah. I think it's important to be a little nervous.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel that every time. I think you said something like, I know the people in the room, you know? And so like, there's a weight to that and a responsibility to that. That's like, it's important to feel and to say like, okay, I'm not just, this isn't for a class or it isn't for some random group. It's, I find it hard. I find it easier sometimes to preach to a larger crowd. Like I've gone and preached at some really big churches, and I feel way less nervous in those settings because it doesn't feel as intimate and close and personal. Yeah. The most nervous I ever was our first ever preview service for SLO City Church, and we were like doing some like pre-launch stuff before and I invited all my friends to a first church. So it's like, this is our friend Brent now standing up to preach, and it was a room smaller than the youth room, and there's 45 people, and I'm like, but I'm here to you, standing up, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just like you gotta be who you are and know who you are and be, and they know if you know what I'm saying, like it's just intimate, it's vulnerable,
and you look people in the eyes, and you're like, oh wait, and then you kind of that happened to me a couple of times. I would look somebody that I saw in the eye and be like, oh, there's Austin. And I'm like, oh, why am I thinking about that right now? They kind of like,
Like, I hope I don't say Austin.
That's why
that I'm thinking about.
That's sometimes why a manuscript. Like when I first started, I think if you see some of my first sermons here, they were similar to yours, but I found that like I have a mentality to go a little like on a rabbit trail over here and a rabbit trail over here, and sometimes it can get and I do it in conversation. And so like if I see somebody or I hear that laugh, I can even go this way, and I can lose like the point or the message. So I was encouraged by a mentor to like start manuscripting, and now I'm trying to get back to a little bit more loose now that I've manuscripted for 5 years. Of like, I want to even create, like I'm putting written notes on my iPad of like, just preach here. You know, like just like, and so I've got it written, but I want to look up now a little bit more and get, so it's interesting. So
what do you guys think about those preachers that can walk up or do walk up with just like nothing? Like they get to the pulpit and it's just like,
what do I think about them?
Yeah, like they can just roll for 45 minutes.
I'll tell you what I think about
them. There are different contexts and philosophical things with that, right?
Yeah.
Like and I think that's what do you think?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is one of our like guest speakers, who's like a recurring person who comes up and speaks. I won't out him. I don't know if I should or not, but he doesn't have like a manuscript. It's very minimal notes. Like he'll send it for slide content and even just for like, hey, here's what I'm talking about. And it's like, there's like hardly anything on there.
Is it Kyle?
Yeah, it's Kyle. Okay. But because there was one time where he was under the weather. I think you were out of town, And he was like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm under the weather. And I was like, send me your manuscript in case Jordan needs to jump up there or something. And he was like, I will, but just so you know, it's like, he won't be able to really preach from this because it's very minimal. Okay. That was just where my mind went, is like, I don't know. I don't think it's like better or worse. I think it's just like, that's how some people do it. Like, I think my mind works in a way, like I would say I'm much more of like a writer than a like speaker or a preacher. So I feel like I have to like approach that as a writer and then figure out how to communicate that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think there's like, I will say, I do think there's a sense of like, sometimes people, I have seen situations where someone will get up there and say like, I didn't plan any of this. And to me, that sounds a little like self-serving. Like I get that can be like a way to honor like the Holy Spirit and the way like the Spirit prompts us to do certain things, but I just feel like it's important to be careful with that in a sense.
I think I said that last sermon I preached. I didn't plan to say that, but
well, not like just a comment like that, but as a hey, I had something but now I'm not doing that at all, and this is totally off the cuff kind of thing. Like, I don't know, that feels a little like,
even if that was true, if you felt like the Holy Spirit was putting on your heart to say that,
right?
Like I don't know,
that's what I mean.
I don't know. I think there are certain contexts and environments that makes sense. I'm not sure San Luis Obispo makes sense for that. I think we live in a, like when you look at Paul preached similarly, but probably differently to different contexts. He's like standing in the, what's it called? The Areopagus, like with all the philosophers and teachers, and he talks one way here and he writes differently to believers in, I don't know, Ephesus or, I'm sure there's, off the cuff I don't know, because when I'm in front of high school kids, I'm way different
that's true.
than when I'm standing in front of a pretty educated, intellectual scrutinous is that the word? Scrutinizing. Like I think a critical thinking, more logically minded context is slow. But then I've noticed like when I preach and I get a little bit more passionate, people are like, "Oh, I love that," because it's like, But those, if I was just going that whole time, I don't think it would. I don't know. So
I feel like even as you're saying that, even if I am someone who's very heady and intellectual, I think I would even feel. I think I would appreciate the fact that it came from like a place of like study as opposed to just like off, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this isn't just this guy's thoughts. It's like very scriptural based. It's based on other theologians and philosophers. So not that that's, again, that one's better than the other, but I do think, context is important.
I remember when we first, if we need to keep moving, just let me know, but now you got my brain thinking, but when we first started SLO City about 6 months in, I had a friend come and visit, an older guy from Southeast, and he was a part of our youth ministry when I was there, and I was preaching to like high school and college age students. And I was like, I don't know what my mode was, but I would make like 4 points, and I would kind of, mainly my notes were my notepad. It wasn't typed. It was just my journal. So I have all these journals of all my old messages, which I love now. But he came and he was like, man, like, it's like, that was really good, but it's so different than what I'm used to from you. And like, you're a little bit more like tempered and calm. And I think early I learned here, I have to be deliberate with my words because people are listening when you're preaching here, and probably everywhere, to every word you say. Every word. And I think they're not. Sometimes everybody's just like, like glazed over. But I feel like I say something like, hey, you said this. Did you mean that? Because that, and I'm like, oh, wow. Like, there's like a response. So then I'm like, I got to think about what I'm, can't just like, because I can be very, I can be very like just off the top of my head, verbal process.
That's why I think, especially for me and for you, I feel like if I went up there with nothing, or just like maybe even done it beforehand and then left it in the office and then went, the way that I talk to people and explain things is so much different off stage than it is in pulpit on stage. And I feel like I would like retreat back to that if I was talking about something. Like, why? Like, how did I end up feeling like I'm talking like this? Like, that's the thing that I'd be afraid of. Because like we have a conversation. The way that you talk off stage is very different than the way you talk on stage. Same thing for me.
You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
I think it's very different.
Yeah.
I think it's... a little different.
It's more just like
I think it happens
chasing thoughts.
regardless.
Like we can chase thoughts when we're sitting here talking. On stage, you can't do that. But I think it's natural to kind of retreat back to that. Yeah. Like kind of like forget where you are, like what you want to talk about. You know.
But I think the sweet spot is like finding like your voice to where there isn't that much delineation from how you are in conversation versus how you are, at least for me. Like, because I feel like preaching to me is a more clear conversation than an actual conversation with me.
Sure.
Because you're like, what is he talking about? So the manuscripting helps because I'm not like that. I do know I struggle because I talk up here, or I can talk about this, and this at the same time, like in the same conversation. And you guys walk away and you're like, what am I supposed to do with the 4 things that Brent just brought up, right? And so I can't do that preaching because people be like, what in the world just happened?
I understand it,
And I know preachers like that. You know preachers
that's what I'm talking that's what I'm talking about, So but, I appreciate how thorough you are when you do get up and preach with that manuscript, because I just know, like, he's thought through this a lot. And I read it, and I'm like, oh, like, this is good. He's even thinking about this and this. This is awesome. So, but no, that's good, man.
We are proud of you.
Thanks,
I think that's a tough deal to like just step up, and I think I'm excited for the next rep.
Me too, man. I'm excited too,
for sure.
2027, it's coming.
27. That's crazy.
2-year hiatus, but then you'll be back.
2-year hiatus.
Wild.
We're trying to build up the anticipation.
Oh my gosh! Everybody's listening. Like,
I did get an email. Man. I'm talking a lot.
It's all right.
That's cool, man.
I got an email a text from a guy in Fort Worth. His name's Rick Ashley.
Oh, it's that guy?
And I think Rick is going to come and preach February 2nd. Wow, can I give you a glimpse of what he sounds like? Is that okay?
I think that's okay, yeah.
All right, because I think like he's one of my favorite guys. Let me see.
I feel like this could go a couple ways.
There we go.
Well,
with this voice demonstration.
Here it is.
Is he going to come?
I want you to remember, God's commands are not so much rules about how to behave. They are guides for the kind of people he wants us to become. God's aim is to shape us into people of radical love. Jesus said you could sum up all of God's commands in 2 phrases: love God and love people. That's the point. That's where God wants to take us.
So here's the deal. So he's like this old school country.
Yeah,
but he leads a church that is the most multi-ethnic, multi-diverse expression in the Restoration movement that I've ever seen.
Wow!
Okay. So they're a Church of Christ, former Church of Christ, which is non-instrumental.
Yeah,
they have a non-instrumental service. Their first service at 8 o'clock.
Interesting.
9:15 and 10:45, and they're very like there's like Latinos in the mix, like. They have such a diverse staff, like black, white, like Latino, a Spanish-speaking service.
That's awesome.
They sing songs in Spanish. They baptize in Spanish. Like, it's just so cool. Such a cool, like their teaching team is diverse. This guy, you know, like it's just like such a cool expression coming from, and he's leading that charge. And it would not be some guy that you think would lead that church. And that's what I love about him. And he's a baller. He really is, and he can preach. Really awesome. So I'm excited. He's gonna come in February 2nd. Right. I might have to change the topic that week and just say, hey, Rick, just come and preach.
It's on your heart.
Just come and preach.
Just come do it. Yeah,
so
that's awesome. That's exciting. And he never will give us up, and he's never gonna let us down.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down.
Whoa!
That's what I think of.
He said he can't
live
sing.
under a rock. Listen,
I
got some vocals.
Yeah,
I
believe that. Well, I don't know if I'll go that far, but
okay. Here's another question about preaching. How much time we got left?
We're getting to the wrap up point, but go ahead.
What did you learn? What did you learn, and what are you excited to like? I mean, about yourself, about this place, about that you want to apply going forward.
What did I learn? I'm still trying to find my voice.
Yeah.
Like, you found your voice. I feel like in my stage, and in me and Luke as well, like, just hearing ourselves do it and be up there, kind of learning what we sound like, how we say it, what we say is big. I think I learned that I take longer pauses to emphasize points. And sometimes I'll take a little bit too long, or I won't. I'll catch myself not taking a long enough one. So that's what I'm learning. Like, I'm learning that I need to work out, like, how to emphasize a point without making it like, okay, it's been silent for a second, or, just like kind of jumping straight through it. So I learned that. I'm excited to keep developing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good, man.
I like it.
I'm still learning that too. I'm learning to use those pauses and take a breath. Sometimes when I know the sermon's like written long, I'm like, I had a guy at the
have to go through it.
Had the guy at the coffee shop the other day. Did I tell you about that?
No.
I went and got a coffee, and he goes, "Hey, man, I hope I'm not outing this dude, but I'll just He goes, I got a coffee. He goes, "Hey, man, I go to SLO City." He was like, "Just quick question: do you preach faster at the 8 a.m.?"
I remember you did
And I was
say
like,
that.
You said that,
"What? Why?" And he was like, "I don't know. I came to 8 a.m. and you felt like you were just preaching really fast." And I was like, I don't think I was, but maybe subconsciously I was speeding up because it's a shorter service.
And there's that pressure to kind of bring the energy. If
in the 8 a.m.
Yes,
for sure.
To bring, because if you're not bringing it, then it's not going to be there, you know?
Yeah.
So
it was so funny. I saw him in the lobby the other day after the generosity sermon, and I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Hey, was that any slower?" And I came up to give him a high five, and he goes, "I got pink eye."
Whoa. Wait.
He's like, "You better not give me a high five. I got pink eye." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I like that guy.
I don't know who that is, but he seems like a great guy. So.
Oh gosh.
And then I'll say this too. This past weekend, Andrew Isaacs, executive pastor, walked us through. Round of applause. The Mission Sunday, kind of a video-driven update. If you haven't listened to it, which I actually haven't listened to it, and I need to go back and listen to it. Why'd you clap then? Because I've heard great things.
Show support.
I watched the videos. I just need to listen to how he. I've heard he did a great job. I'm sure he did because he's awesome.
Yeah.
Which was really cool Sunday. If you haven't listened to that sermon, like me, you can do so on YouTube or Spotify, wherever. And we'll do it. We'll do it together. You and I.
We will do it together
before the end of the week. We'll listen to it. So. Awesome. Well, it has been so great jumping back on here with you. We will be back next week.
Good. We have to be.
That's a promise. So
maybe we should do 2 episodes next week.
That could be fun.
Whoa.
A 2-episode week. That'd be good.
I love a good podcast.
We're in Advent. This week is all about love. Advent started. I just want to apologize to everybody. Advent started last Sunday. And because there was sickness and different things happening, Thanksgiving, we didn't start the Advent series until this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
But we've got Advent Devos that Tatum's put together. They're going to be available.
They look great.
After service.
They do look great.
They're really cool.
And they read great.
Anna helped design.
Yeah.
Anna Steven. Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
So it's going to be great.
Yeah, so come to church. We've got a couple different handouts for you. It'll be a great Sunday, kicking off Advent together. And that's it. Hope for One, wrapping up.
Christmas at the Pack.
Christmas at the Pack.
Christmas Eve candlelight service.
In the parking lot.
Christmas party. Yeah. Thanksmas happened.
Thanksmas was awesome.
Thanksmas was fun.
Thanksmas
was fun.
Thanksmas was really fun.
How much time we got
left? None.
He's done.
None time? Okay.
He holds us.
None.
He's really strict.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't a long format.
We're just chilling.
This is 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe instead of two episodes, what if we just do an hour special next week?
Wow.
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Could be fun.
Okay.
Because that'd be easier to pull off.
Just you and me, or
we could have a rotating guest. It's like an open door.
We could see him come to the window. Wait. We'll write down who we want.
It's like Good Morning America with the people outside with the signs.
We could set up facing that way. We're like, oh, look, come on.
I'll set a microphone out there.
That's funny.
It won't be in here, but they still get the
I got to start. We've really failed on the real business, too. We got to have content.
Yeah. Real specific content. Yeah.
People don't really know they have a real Instagram page for the podcast.
SLO City Together Podcast.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
A podcast specific Instagram, SLO City Together Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We have a vision for this that has not been accomplished yet. But
I know. I need to do research about getting
I've got a couple things I want to do. I think Jen and I want to do a little side thing.
Nice.
Just talk about church planting and our story.
That's awesome.
And maybe just do like a 12 episode walkthrough. I don't know how to do that though.
That's cool.
Would that be cool? Would people listen to that?
I think people would listen to that for sure.
About like marriage and faith and family and struggle and church planting.
Make it a limited series. That'd be cool.
Through SLO City or a separate thing?
Yeah, I think you could do it through SLO City.
Okay.
SLO City presents
a SLO City Together podcast special.
Yeah.
Be cool.
I think it would be cool. I like it.
Okay.
Run with it. Whoa, boy. Maybe you do. It's been so great to be with you. I'm going to wrap this up. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk with you soon. See ya.
Bye. All right, guys.